Hi all, this is part 2 where we're taking a look at AuthentiKit's modular flight control system. In a nutshell, AuthentiKit design and provides sourcing avenues for you to self-build a wide range of different peripherals. All the details were in my previous video, link in the notes below. In this video we're going to focus mainly on one of their main peripherals, their flight stick with the spade grip designed for the Spitfire Mk IX. It is after all a generic controller, so we're going to be also trying it out in the MB339 jet and the H135 or Eurocopter helicopter. The current range of peripherals focus on the vintage warbirds and are exact replicas, but the range is expanding and evolving, and when combined with their suggested mounting system, provides a cockpit for those in VR, which is fairly unique in the marketplace at the moment. We're going to start our tests with the FlyingIron Simulations Spitfire Mk IX. All our tests will be in Microsoft Flight Simulator today, but of course these controllers are compatible with just about any sim. It may surprise you that we're in Iceland, and our beautiful Spitfire is in the silver heritage livery. And this is in tribute to two guys who took a Spitfire and flew it round the world. Amazing. Link in the notes below if you'd like to know more. And yes, their Spitfire was silver. We're on the runway and ready to go at a small Icelandic airport, Thorshof. And the airport is payware and brought to you by Skytitude and available from the sim market for about €11. There's not a lot to this small airport, which is on the northeastern edge of Iceland, but the scenery does include 6,000 square meters of photorealistic scenery. If you fly regularly in this area, well, it may well be worth a look. A warm welcome to the SimHanger. My name's Mark, and let's get started. To kick off with, we're in VR. I'm in the Reverb Pro. The flight stick has considerably more movement than your average joystick, and therefore the movement resolution is very good indeed, giving you better control. All my sensitivities are at default, so by adjusting these slightly I could gain even more finite control. I'm just going to pull the lever to put the parking brake on. There it is, it's on. And now to test the ailerons. And the amount of movement of the aileron to the flight stick is proportional. So that's looking good. Let's try out the elevators if I can see them. Yes, I can. Now doing up and down. That all looks okay. So handbrake off and let's get going. The sound on the Spit is amazing. Throttle gently forward and let's get going. My landings are not too bad, but my takeoffs are horrific, so apologies in advance. Now dancing on the rudders. Tail is coming up. It's about here it really gets a bit hairy. Well, after weaving down the runway, we're finally up and gear is up. Pulling back slightly on the throttle and the prop. The flight stick is very responsive and I feel I have good control of the aircraft. There's a small village some way off the end of the runway here, and I'm just gonna do a low level buzz at speed so I can test out the controls. That all seemed great. There's something special about being in VR and something special about flying the Spitfire. Combine those with the throaty roar of this aircraft, it's just an amazing experience. Time for another test for the flight stick. Let's push those throttles forward and pitch, and let's try some inverted flight. Whoa, just a little bit too far, but that was me, not the flight stick. Now time for me to turn on final and plan for a landing, bringing my speed back so I can deploy my flaps and get my gear down. Sometimes without realizing it, I end up gripping that handle, but a light touch is all it needs. Gear down, I've configured the top button for gear down and the bottom button for flaps. Runway dead ahead, and altitude looking just fine. Just adding a bit of power as the Spitfire can drop quite quickly, keeping the runway just ahead of the nose, maintain visibility. Well, I'm a bit high, but I'm going to go for a long landing. Fortunately, quite a long runway here. Keeping the nose up and going for a 3-point landing. I'm happy with that and keeping backward pressure to keep the nose up in the air. Well, I'm impressed with the flight stick. It certainly did its job, and certainly a better landing than what I'm getting with my regular joystick. Although the flight stick is an exact replica of one found in a Spitfire Mk IX, it is after all a generic controller, so I thought I'd give it a go in the MB339, one of my favourite jets. Control response looks just fine. I'm not going to do too much more talking in the remainder of the test. You can judge the flight stick for yourself. Throttles forward, we're moving, let's get going. I'm in 2D mode, no VR for this flight. Now I know that the flight stick was not designed for helicopter flight, but I just couldn't resist the opportunity to give it a go. I would need to adjust some of the sensitivity settings certainly to get it just right. When it comes to helicopter flying, I must admit I'm a complete noob. AuthentiKit's range of products continue to expand, and I know there's a DR400 flight stick in the works. I hope these two videos have given you a good understanding or better understanding of what AuthentiKit are all about and what they offer. These products represent a great innovation, and they're designed by flight simmers for flight simmers. This is one company I'll certainly be keeping my eye on. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you found it useful and informative. Stay well, look after yourselves, and bye for now.